All right, bless up everybody. It's your girl Jetty from Word Revolution. This is like my third try on recording this for you all. So we're going to talk about why belief matters. I'm going to try to keep it around 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes, nice and short and sweet. Not going to keep y'all long. I just want to throw something out there for you guys to think about, okay? So, why belief matters? What is Jetty talking about? She always in her bag about something. All right, so as a revolutionary and a person who's promoting the getting out, the divestment from our people of all of our resources, energetic time, money, knowledge, all of that from these oppressive world systems, and the rebuilding of systems that are independent of it and are able to thrive and function um, in contrast to the growing global world culture. I often come up on discussions about whether or not discussing things like religion and whatnot are counterproductive, right? There's this mindset that it's divisive to state your religion or whatever, right? Now, I talked about tribalism a while back, and I'll have to look and see if that video is here and available, but this kind of touches in on tribalism a little bit, where I promote tribalism. I think tribalism is brilliant, wonderful, great, and grand. It is the annihilation of tribalism that has allowed us to be completely exploited. The oppressor would have us to believe that tribalism is what opened us up to being exploited because we didn't play as one team, but that's not true. Tribalism is where you get your identity and your strength and how you connect with the ancestral lineage and linkage of your personal multi-generational trajectory, right? And so this kind of touches in with that a little bit. But I'm not going to talk about tribalism. I just want to talk about why I say that belief matters. Whereas some of my colleagues say that, your beliefs don't matter, just come and build with us. We don't care about your religion. We don't care about your this, that. Just come and build with us. All we care about is that you come and put a hammer to nail. And while on one aspect that does resonate with me, on another it does not. So I have said that if your God tells you to come and get this work, to come and do this building, by all means listen and show up. Right? I don't want to argue over what you call God and blah blah blah. I said that, and that is true. But know that in my saying that, I don't mean to suggest that it doesn't matter who and what you serve and what you believe. It matters a lot. Why do I say that? Okay, so I'm just going to throw an example out there. Let's say that there is a neighborhood, there's a city, and within that city there's a school. And in the school, the teachers hate all of the children, right? The teachers and the administrators hate the children. And so the parents get together and they say, they hate our children. We need to build a different school. We need to create a different school. And they say, okay, well, what kind of school is it going to be? It's going to be a school where the teachers love the children. All right, great. So everybody's unified on building a school where the teachers love the children. And we say, well, that's all we need to talk about. We'll just build a school where the teachers love the children. And we don't need to get into religion and belief and this and that. We'll just unify on loving the children, and we'll build a school where all the teachers love the children. And that will be our unifying factor. And so we're going to build on that, and we're not going to talk about the stuff that makes us different, those divisive things. And so we build this school. Hello to whoever's watching. Thanks for tuning in. So we all go and we all build the school. And we hire teachers that love children, and that's all we ask. Do you love children? Yes, we love children. Great, you can be a teacher here. And then we find out that one person really loves children because they're a pedophile. And they couldn't wait to be a teacher because they wanted to be able to touch all of the children. Then we learned that another person really loves children because they're delicious and they actually eat children. And they're their very favorite. And so they wanted to be around to have access to the children so they could know which house has the most delicious plump little children that they could go to after school hours and kidnap and eat the children, right? And these things kind of matter. And so if we say all that we're worried about in building on is that if you love children, you can be a teacher here. No, we don't want to talk about your other beliefs. Then we open ourselves up to some pretty serious hazards, right? So asking, why do you love children and what does that mean to you? Because some people say, I love children so much I would never correct a child, right? I was leaving the early childhood education field as NACCE, the National Association for the Education of Young Children. NACCE was declaring its new standards, and the new standards are that children in a learning environment should never hear the words no, stop, and don't, because those are oppressive to young children, right? That was the new standard. So according to NACCE, if you love your child, you would never say no, stop, and don't to that child. So one person really loves children, and so because they really love children, they never say no, stop, and don't to those children. But another person really loves children, and because they really love children, they often say no, stop, and don't to the children, because they don't want to see the child walk out into the middle of the street, and they don't want to take the time to reason with the child and take the chance that the child's going to get hit by the car, trying to convince them, well, do you think that it's a good idea to go into the street when a car is coming? And little Johnny doesn't listen. And no, they don't have time for that. They love children too much for that. So they will say, Johnny, don't you take your little butt out in that street. So if we build a school and we just say that the only prerequisite is that you love children to be a teacher, we are setting ourselves up for some major disaster. So how does that apply to community building? Well, if we are building community and we say that all we need to worry about is that you want to get the heck away from the oppressor and you want to live a free, natural life, let's build us a community. I don't care about your beliefs. I don't care about what God you serve. I don't care about your sexuality. I don't care about any of that. All I know is you're black and you're trying to get away from the oppressor the same as I do. So let's all just go build together. That means that I'm going to have to be okay with being the next door neighbor to the rapist, because there are rapists who are being oppressed by the colonizer and want to get out. And so I'm going to have to be okay with that. I'm going to have to be okay with being the neighbor to the murderer, right? Because it doesn't matter whether that person believes they should be able to murder because it gives them a rush. That's not my business, right? Now, if my beliefs say that murdering people who've done you no harm is problematic, but hey there, Cosmic Thoughts, good to see you tuning in. So if my beliefs say that murdering is inappropriate, that should only be done within the context of war, and that you should only ever enter into war for righteous reasons, and then defines those righteous reasons, that's going to make it hard for me to live next to the person who believes that murder is their right because it gives them an adrenaline rush and they like to drink blood. Right? This is something that you're going to want to know. There's more to it than just we're all oppressed and we all have been lumped in together by the oppressor, and so therefore we should all strive together to get away from the oppressor. You have to be more responsible than that. A lot of us have children. It matters to me if people believe homosexuality is a sin or not. Why does that matter to me? Because I am teaching my children that is a dysfunction of sexuality. It's not a pure form of sexuality. And if you come and you build with me and you're spending time with my children and you're teaching them that it's not a dysfunction of sexuality, that it is perfectly normal, and look at how many people are gay and we love gay people too, and you teach this counter culture. But I am okay with that, because why? Because we're both oppressed by the same oppressor, and so therefore we should build together. What are we building together? What am I even getting away from? What am I taking my children away from? If you're a capitalist and I'm a socialist, but we don't discuss that because we're both being oppressed by capitalists right now. So really your goal is to get out from that system so that you can build a system whereby you can be the top dog in it. You want to be the 1%. So you don't actually have a problem with the system. You just have a problem with your position in it versus someone who says, well, no, that's not actually a functioning model, right? Then that's going to be difficult, because then all I'm doing, if I build with the person who they don't want to do away with the system, they just want to be the top dog within the similar system. When I go off and I build with them, all I'm doing is building my own oppression. I'm building now with the person who can't wait to oppress me so that they can be the 1% and I can be the bottom. So we have to discuss our beliefs. We have to discuss these things. And then, someone said to me, when I mentioned rapists and pedophiles and all of this, they said those things are acts. Those things aren't beliefs. That's absurd. You act according to your beliefs. Your beliefs form your acts. Your beliefs direct your acts. If I believe, no matter how hungry I am, if I believe that stealing is wrong and an offense, it's going to take a really extreme amount of hunger before I'm going to steal from you. But if I don't believe that stealing is an offense, if I believe, here's one, right? Like in terms of stealing, like in my father's house, these are two different belief systems. In my father's house, if you put $10 down on the table and walk away, and I come and I steal the $10, in my father's house, the person that stole the $10 is the person who's wrong. But my mother's teaching was different. My mother taught that you're wrong to put $10 down on the table and walk away, because someone believes in stealing. And so if you don't protect your $10, you're the person who's wrong, because not only did you not protect your $10, but you set the thief up to, like, of course they're going to steal now because you left your $10. Belief matters. Because if we live together, we need to understand that those two belief systems they're not going to work together. If I believe that you're wrong to touch $10 when I put it down, and you believe that I'm wrong to leave $10 down and expect it not to get stolen, how do we live together? Whose belief are we going to live by? Am I just going to keep putting $10 down and being pissed off every time that you steal it? Because in my opinion, in the way that I believe, you're wrong to steal it. And you're just going to keep stealing it because you're like, I'm wrong to not protect it. If I don't want my $10 stolen, keep it in my pocket. This is going to matter. Belief matters. We cannot be so ignorant and so naive to imagine that you can build anything of substance with people who don't share some foundational beliefs with you. And we have to talk about this stuff, because sometimes we don't know what we believe. We think we believe one thing, but we really don't. Like, a lot of us think we're capitalists, but really we're socialists. And a lot of us don't think that we're capitalists, and really we are, right? And this kind of stuff only gets hashed out and figured out through the discussion of belief. We cannot skip that part and just run over and start building haphazardly with whoever shows up with a shovel and whoever shows up with a hammer. Now, yes, I have said, and I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, I have said plenty of times, look, if your belief system, if your God, your Most High God tells you, whoever that God is that you serve tells you to get on over here, come on over here by me and plant you some trees, by all means come and plant those trees. And I mean that. But you know why I mean that? Because I believe that the Most High God who I serve will not send anyone, they can't come near me, who mean me harm and whose beliefs are contrary. I believe that the Most High, in demonstrating his excellence through my conduct and through his power, adding his super to my natural, will convert anyone into believers when they see that the supernatural abilities moving through me give us a really big advantage. And that people that don't recognize that are going to become irritated by it and will go away. They're going to be pissed off when all their might goes into whatever they do and it continues to fail. And we put a little bit of effort in and say, Lord, please bless this effort. And then it like exponentially succeeds. People are either going to be converted and say, I want some of that power, or they're going to get pissed off and go away. And they'll probably do some sabotage stuff before they go, and that to be expected. But belief matters, people. Belief matters. This idea that black people are one team, all fighting for the same thing, is the biggest lie. It's never, ever, ever been that way. It is a big lie, and it is a trick. And it is usually people who are seeking, in one way or another, to exploit someone who would tell you to check your beliefs at the door. How? How do you do that in a healthy way? How do I come to the table and bring my best self if I have to leave my beliefs behind, if I have to leave the things behind that empower me? If I have to leave the things behind that literally dictate my actions? What about those that believe in multiple deities as well? Uh-oh, where did it go? The comment went away. I got to find it. Oh, as well as know that there is an all of all. Well, I know that there are multiple deities. The Most High tells us that these entities are out there. Demons and angels and ancestors and all of them are players in the game. Many are assigned to help us. Many that were assigned to help us have an attitude, and therefore they're trying to sabotage us. Like, I'll be the first to say it. I prayed to the Most High yesterday, Lord, please talk to Oya. Tell Oya to blow these clouds away and give us some sun. Now, am I going to make a shrine to Oya in my house? No, I'm not, because Oya is not my God. Oya is a power who's been given dominion over certain aspects of nature. I understand that, right? I believe in her. How can I not believe in her? She exists, right? Michael is an angel. He's given power to do certain things. The sun is a living entity with direction under the Most High. Do I have to worship the sun as a god? No, but I recognize that the sun's power and authority over nature is greater than my own. No sun, no jetty. Jetty can die and the sun will continue, but if the sun dies, there's no jetty. It's not going to continue, not in this human form on this planet. So me recognizing that the sun is a very dynamic and very much alive and very powerful entity doesn't detract from me knowing that the Most High God, which is all things, who is all things, is supreme. So I don't tend to have problems with people who have other beliefs like that, like people who like do the ancestor thing, or people that do the Orisha and thing like that. I don't tend to have a lot of problems with them because, I mean, I get it. You know Oya. You and Oya are really intimate. I don't consider her a god. Now, a lot of times they don't like me. They get frustrated with me because I'll say stuff like, oh, I was kicking it with Oya the other day. And they're like, well, you haven't been initiated and you haven't this and that and you haven't. I'm like, I don't have to do that. Like, Oya's my homie. Like, me and Legba is tight. Me and Legba crack jokes all the time. Like, me and Legba are tight. They can't handle that. That spazzes them out, right? I haven't been initiated and I haven't done this and that and that and this. But see, that's something else, right? All that initiation and all that is something else. I'm not an idiot. I know that Legba exists. I know that someone takes the prayers from this realm to the next realm. And I know that sometimes if you don't give that someone a gift, they're not going to take the prayer. It's no different than if I want someone to take my letter. If I want the post office to take my letter, I put a stamp on it. If I don't put a stamp on it, the post office isn't going to deliver that letter. Well, if you want Oya to do you a favor and blow away the clouds, sometimes she wants an offering. She says, well, I'll do that, but put blue flowers, out or whatever. And the blue flowers was not necessarily associated with Oya. I just threw that out there, right? So I understand that some people operate with these deities and energies and forces in different ways, right? But these things have to be discussed, because the point at which it's contrary, is going to be hugely impactful in our ability to build and to sustain. And you can't just build with everybody that shows up with $1 and a hammer. Now, am I saying that everybody has to believe in the Most High God to come and build with me? Well, here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about that. All that I do to the glory of the Most High. And I am going to be very vocal about that, and I am never going to stop saying that. And so when I am doing something to the glory of the Most High, and you join me, now what you're doing is to the glory of the Most High. And if not, if that's going to be offensive to you, you're going to go away. And I absolutely have turned many a person away. I've turned listen, this is not even a lie. I've turned multi-billion-dollar investors away because their beliefs were contrary to mine, because they're capitalists. I don't want to build with capitalists. The Most High says no, 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 no. We are not doing what we are doing to make money. We are doing what we are doing to save souls, to create safe spaces for people. And the abundance will come. It's not to say that we don't believe in abundance. The whole point in life is abundance. But for who? And what's the bottom line? If the bottom line is money, no. The Most High tells me no. You may not. No, they can't. And there are different capacities in which I am permitted to deal with capitalists, right? Like sometimes I can deal with them, but they don't get to have dominion over the people that come, right? That come alongside me to build. So I can't have like $1 billion capitalist investor be the top of the organization or the top of the project or whatever. Like, no, because now I'm serving their God, money. So they have to come under the dominion of the Most High. That's what the word talks about when you have strangers among you and all that. Yeah, well, everybody ain't Israel. But some folks are going to come along that aren't Israel or are going to build. But we also have to understand that there is a time when we're not even permitted to let them come and help build. When they have intentionally sabotaged us, they don't get to then see that it's working out and then come and rejoin and get to come and build. The Most High is like, nope. Tell them to go away. Read about Tobias and them. Read about Ezra and what was going on. Read Nehemiah and Ezra and stuff like that, and Ezra and things. There's a time and a purpose to everything under heaven. A time and a season for every purpose under heaven. So I don't draw these crazy hard lines. I'll never deal with a capitalist, and I'll never deal with an atheist, and I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is to conduct ourselves as if these things don't matter, and we're not going to talk about them because any black person that wants out can come build. The devil is a lie. I'm not going to build with men who slap their women around. I'm not going to build with women who think they can treat their men mean as spit. I'm sorry, I don't want to build with them. I don't care what kind of skills they have. I don't want it around my kids. I don't want it around myself. I don't want to have to be walking past their house and hear the man and they're slapping the woman around. Or have my kids witness him come home with some little gift for her and she's, what the hell is that bullshit? Like, no, you don't get to be part of our community. Sorry, I know that the oppressors mean to you and stuff, but somewhere out there is somebody who's called to those people. I'm not. Because what I am building is a city of refuge. Refuge from what? Refuge from that which is contrary to what I believe to be right and good and wholesome. So if we don't discuss belief and what you believe to be right and good and wholesome, how can you come beside me and build? You can't. Not unless we agree on what right, good, and wholesome means. Right? And so that's when things like religion start to cease to really matter, because we come to find out, well, you know what? You're an atheist. I'm a Hebrew. So and so is a Christian, so and so is a Muslim, and so follows Ifa, and so is a Buddhist, but we all agree that pedophilia is a no-go, right? We all agree that pedophilia is a no-go. All of our beliefs land on no to pedophilia. So, okay, check. Okay, we can build because everybody here agrees that pedophilia is a no. Okay, now let's discuss rape. This one says this one says this one says that. Somebody in the group says, well, actually, rape, I feel that you should be able to rape people. I mean, if she dresses in a little skimpy skirt, she's asking for it. We can't build on that. Okay, well, I hear that that's how you feel, but I don't want to have you in this community. Because while I do believe that women are responsible for the impact of what they're wearing, if you're wearing something that is literally designed to make men hard, you are responsible for the sexual energy that attracts. I am not ready to say that gives men permission to then forcefully take it. How can we build if we are forbidden to talk about these things and discuss them in great length and detail? Not discussing them is a setup for failure for me because of what I'm building. I am building safe places. I am building cities of refuge under the Most High. I cannot build a city of refuge and make the locksmith, the person who puts all the locks and sets all the security codes, a pedophile. Because I don't want to discuss his sexual orientation because that's divisive. So I let the pedophile be the guy who sets all the alarms on all the houses. And then we start wondering why in the middle of the night our children are disappearing. And it's so strange. But it's not so strange. We literally handed them over to the pedophile. So I said I was going to keep this short. It's not super short. I hope that this clears some things up to you all. I'm Team Yeshua all day long. I follow the Most High. I don't know what y'all gonna do. Choose you this day who you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve Yahuwah. Around here, we serve Yahweh. We serve Jah, the Most High. We gonna serve Him. So if that's offensive to you, that I am vocal about that and make no bones about that, that's okay. There's so many people out there doing the kind of stuff that I'm doing. You will find your tribe. I believe you'll find your tribe. But that will not be compromised. And I will not start to play the we can't discuss belief game for sake of numbers. Like, I'd rather have 2 people in agreement with me building than 5 people that have completely different beliefs that are contrary to mine and be trying to build with them. How can 2 walk together unless they agree? You can't. So, there you have it. Thank you for watching. Is that still you, Cosmic? Are you still here? I saw you went out for a minute. Is that still you? Okay. Word. I like that. Preparing for the next 3 generations. Listen, hit me up because just hit me up. Let's talk in private about some things. About what your goals are, what your ideas are. Maybe I can help you. Maybe I can link you with people who there's a lot of people that got some really incredible stuff going on. I'm not the only person in the world who has opportunities to come and literally build community. People all over the place are doing it, melanin people. And so maybe I can link you with, some people that's on your type of vibe, give you some ideas and things that you can implement, wherever you are. So if you want to do that, when you have the opportunity, feel free to hit me up. I'm easily reached typically on Facebook. My Facebook name is the same as my YouTube. And so friend me and inbox me and give me a buzz and we'll kick it. Thank you for watching. Please do share. I hope that this has blessed someone to the glory of the Most High. I place this in His hands and may it feed those who it's intended to feed. Not trying to hurt or offend nobody. I'm just trying to keep this truth going forth in wisdom. We got to conduct ourselves in wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, your girl Jetty from Word Revolution, I'm out.